If there is a director whose work is worth exploring, at least one that hasn't been explored to death, it's got to be Sidney Lumet. The theme of his best work is social injustice, based on the brutality of a broken system that values rules and regulations over humanity and common sense. My guess is that this seems to have been formed over what he witnessed during McCarthy's communist witch hunt in the 1950s. You can see it in his best work, like 12 Angry Men, Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, The Verdict, Prince of the City, and The Criminally Forgotten Critical Care. But his most upfront and brutal film was The Hill from 1965, a World War II drama that takes place in a military prison camp somewhere in the Liberian desert and concerns the power struggle between a hard-assed regimental sergeant major named Wilson, played by Harry Andrews, and his treatment of 5 new inmates who have been placed in his charge for relatively minor offenses. One of the new arrivals is Trooper Joe Roberts, played in an understated performance by Sean Connery, as a man who got in trouble for disobeying an order that would have sent his squad on a suicide mission. As you might expect, the bulk of the film deals with the brutal treatment of the men by Wilson and his lapdog sidekick Williams, played by Ian Hendry, as they are forced into inhuman exercises mostly centered around a giant man-made hill that has been erected in the center of the camp. Now that plot doesn't sound wholly original. We've seen this tug-of-war before, but what makes The Hill so special is that Lumet and his screenwriter Ray Rigby focused on the characters. We get to know these guys, and that gives a lot of weight to their suffering. And the drama builds and builds until even those loyal to Wilson's command begin to crumble. The point of the punishment, it's said, is to break the men down so that the sergeant major can build them back up again, as obedient soldiers. But where's the line? Where does the punishment end and the real training begin? It's all punishment, Lumet and Rigby argue. The men begin to understand that it's going to continue on and on until they die. What strikes me about The Hill is the psychological breakdown. Lumet's camera is clear in the beginning, so is the orderliness of the camp, but as the men are beaten down, everything becomes disorganized. The shots become less steady, and the sound becomes more erratic. There's a sense of whirling dizziness that plays into what the men are forced to endure, and more than that, you are questioning what forces decided on such a damning mental breakdown. Who decided on the hill itself? What is the psychology of people who force men to carry out such torments? Where's their soul? These aren't prisoners of war that you captured. They're your fellow countrymen. Where's the balance between order and just plain cruelty? I like that Lumet asks those questions. It takes a potentially worn-out drama like this and imbues it with a lot of questions afterwards. It gets you thinking. I'm still thinking about it. For Armchair Cinema, I'm Jerry Dean Roberts. I'll see you next time.